Beth and Cristin trying to write a book. Wordsmith at work.
Hello, Beth. Another dispatch from my couch. Let's see. It's been about a week since I sent you, since I did my last writing on the book, and I kind of sent it off to you and was like, okay, your turn. And you turned it around in a day and sent it back to me and was like, okay, your turn now, which rude. Cause, that's just, I wasn't ready. And I'm back on the couch again. And that's the bitch of this, right? Is it's not like a linear progression like you expect from a narrative where, things were getting better and I overcame my issues and I wrote and now I'm on a roll and now the momentum is there and it's all going to be so easy from now on, because that's not how it happens for me. I rally for a short time and then I've exhausted all my resources and I'm back on the couch. And that just becomes, my worry is that becomes just annoying for you. Because how often are you gonna want to get videos from me being like, I can't make myself work right now. I can't convince myself that anything matters at all. And that anything's worth doing. And even if I could convince myself that it was worth doing, I don't have the resources, the energy, the strength, the whatever to get up and do it. And that sucks and I hate it. But that's where I am. So it's been about a week since you sent me back the chapter and I haven't done anything yet. And it's not for a lack of trying, but I just can't right now. I'm sorry.
Hello, Beth. Welcome back to the Buffalo Improv House. No, I still haven't done any writing or even looked at the pages that you sent me, but I'm going to try and do it now. I don't know why, but sometimes working when I'm supposed to be doing something else feels easier to me. Feels like you're just kind of like sneaking it in, just like have a minute here or there. I don't know. I guess it's like less of a commitment and I'm not really doing it. I'm not really writing. I'm at work. So it feels, just like easier. I don't know. So I'm going to try. Hello, Beth. Coming to you from the parking lot of my doctor's office. I have started a new treatment for my depression, which hopefully will work. I don't know, fingers crossed. But it's like a 3-minute treatment that I have to get every day for the next 6 weeks, which sounds easy, except that the doctor is an hour and a half from my house. So that's kind of a bummer. 3 hours in the car every day. I am adjusting slowly to this change in my schedule. And I'm hopeful that in a couple more days, when I've like really got my mind around suddenly having this big block of time taken up by driving and like the after effects of the treatment, I'm hopeful that I will be able to like integrate writing back into my day. Integrate it back into my days, though that's the thing I've been doing like regularly. But anyway, I'm hopeful that I will be able to get back on track with the writing and will be able to contribute to our chapters, which are weighing heavily on me because I know that you sent them back to me like, I think like a week and a half ago, and I feel terrible, but whatever. That's not what this discussion is about. I could make a million videos about how terrible I feel, but instead, something I've been thinking about during my long drives, because they do, although they make it hard for me to write, they do give me ample time to think. So when we were brainstorming, we talked about having a kind of grumpy sunshine dynamic with our lovers, and with the girl being Grumpy and the boy being Sunshine. And we also talked about the male love interest, the male protagonist, being like a high EQ guy, you know, positive masculinity, not like some macho dick, basically. And what I've noticed with the first couple of chapters that we've written is that both you and I have defaulted to kind of a asshole with a heart of gold kind of personality for our main character, who's currently named Beckett, and I think will probably remain Beckett. And I get that because you know, he's a historian who travels through time and uses his knowledge to like blend in and then steal things from the time period he's in. So he's a con artist. It makes sense that he would be like this, that we would write him as this, you know, charming guy who can, you know, lie effortlessly, who just kind of, you know, walks between the raindrops. You know, a very much a Han Solo type, you know, like kind of an asshole, but you know, he's a good guy underneath. And I'm wondering if that is the best choice, because A, it doesn't really reflect what we talked about when we were brainstorming, and B, it is the most obvious choice. Like, there's a reason we both kind of defaulted to that, and it's not just that we like to write those types of characters, it's that that's what makes sense for a time traveling thief, is to be that kind of charming con artist, you know, amoral or like morally gray type of dude. That just is like what makes sense. And so that's what makes me think we should do something different. Because I think it just might be more interesting if we don't go with our first choice and if we don't follow our intuition, because maybe that's the obvious path. So, you know, what if he isn't effortlessly charming and doesn't effortlessly, you know, pull off these cons of being in these time periods that are not his own? You know, what if because he's a history professor, what if he has the knowledge of like the mores of the time and how he should be acting and the like context of whatever he's in, but is like kind of a shy guy or kind of an awkward guy, and so he, you know, has the knowledge to fit in but still struggles with it? Like, is that more interesting? And does that also open up the possibility for our girl to be that lovable asshole? You know, like, okay, maybe she doesn't have the knowledge that he has about the time period she's traveling to, but she has the confidence, she has the ability to talk her way out of anything, to lie, to charm, to blag her way, you know, past authority or whatever. And would that be a more interesting dynamic than what we're currently writing? I think it might be. And I think that it's early enough that we can really easily, you know, switch it up a little bit without having to write a bunch of new stuff, which obviously, who wants to do that? Nobody. So let me know what you think, because yeah, this has just been weighing on me for the last 50 or 60 miles. And I think it could be ultimately maybe a more interesting choice if our lead guy is like less Han Solo, more Luke Skywalker. Let me know what you think.